Now, what's really driving me crazy about the Nike React Infinity Run Flyknit 2 is the... I love it, everybody. I love it. Here we go. Nike React Infinity Run Flyknit 2 review for all of you. And yes, we're going to address the title of the vlog right now because it needs to be addressed at the beginning because I want to caution you if you buy this running shoe, okay? A neutral road running shoe that has hints of stability, gentle stability built in to the shoe. And I'm getting some pushback on Twitter. I love it. Keep it coming. But I just have to communicate the truth to all of you in case you buy the shoe, like a major caution. So I first bought this shoe 3 weeks ago. I laced up here in the house. And yes, connected to, again, the caution. Don't pull too hard on the tongue of the shoe. And I'm not the only person that this is happening to. So 3 weeks ago, I tore the left side, and the left side, and this morning I tore the right side. So the tongue is literally for a $160 shoe. And listen, what did I say yesterday? I'm beholden to no one. I don't care what the logo is on the side of the shoe. I don't care what the history of the company is. I don't care about any of that. All I care about is the performance of the shoe and the price of the shoe, okay? So the tongue is literally tearing away. And so I will call out any company that, and this is where the pushback is happening on Twitter this morning, and it's like, I don't care if it's Adidas. I remember the last shoe that this has happened to. So about 2 years ago, I tore the tongue of that shoe about 2 years ago, but that was 2 years ago. That was the last shoe where this was an issue. I would say, and okay, did I already mention this? I'm not the only person. I'm gonna show you pictures of other people who are tearing the tongue of their shoes as well. Oh, Nike, come on now. Let's up the ante a little bit in our production quality. There it is. We are back. All right, 2021. 2020, all right? Many of you love the original iteration. There it is, okay? With a booty style collar that wraps around your ankle. We'll talk about the differences between these two shoes. This is True Love's shoe. She loves this shoe from 2020. In fact, it's her go-to. I bought her a Pegasus 37 last year, and she opted for the original React Infinity Run Flyknit. So I'll do a few comparisons between the two, and just because we've got a major challenge with the tongue of the shoe on the second iteration does not mean the entire shoe is a wash, all right? And I'll get you the final early score here in a minute. Let's dive in. 9mm drop from heel to toe, 33 in the heel, 24 in the forefoot for a medium to high stack height. Women's size 8, we're looking at 8.5 ounces. Men's size 9, almost 10 ounces, just under 10 ounces. And in my size, let me just confirm, I believe we're looking at 9.03 ounces. There's my score for the weight. Not a great score at all. So this is definitely falling into the daily trainer or easy day category for me. And most of the time, a road daily trainer shoe in my size is coming in 7.5 to 8.5 ounces. So, it's about a half an ounce heavier than most daily trainers that I test out for all of you. Moving on to that Flyknit upper, classic Flyknit with some added, let me just double check, yes, with some added Flywire cables through the eyelet chain. There they are on your screen. I gotta say, the lockdown in the in the second iteration was better for me. Not perfect, it didn't hit that 7 mark for the score, but it definitely was better than in the original, okay? I like the Flywire edition. Overall, I'll get you the comfort score in a minute, but they've also, I have to point out, they've added a lot of padding. It's not a plush upper, but they have added a significant amount of padding to the collar of the shoe, the heel counter that wraps around your ankle, and I like it, okay? I did not like that. This was, I believe, my #1 drawback to last year's version. This is just a straight up classic booty style. What does that mean? It's very flexible, all right? There's no rigidity to the collar of the shoe, what wraps around your ankle. I did not like that. True Love loves it, but it didn't work out for me. So therefore, I really like the update to this collar. Now, of course, I don't have to rehash it too much, but it's tearing. I have to take that into account when okay, you ready for this? Oh boy. So here's the deal. I'm not calling out Nike, just like I said yesterday. I don't care that there's a swoosh on the side of the shoe. I don't care if this shoe had 3 stripes for Adidas. I don't care if there was a bird for Hoka. It doesn't matter to me. All that matters is performance. And I'm hoping that by calling out Nike today in this vlog, I'm hoping a shoe designer at Nike sees this vlog and realizes, for the Nike React Infinity Run Flyknit 3 or 4, because guess what? The 3 may already be in production or going to production very soon. That's how far in advance these companies work. Hopefully they see this vlog and they realize, somebody in the running shoe department at Nike is like, we got to fix this tongue, or else there's just going to be a lot. And I'm never going to harp on a company without evidence, okay? So here, in the next 20 seconds, 30 seconds, are pictures literally from around the world, from DGR Strong, from folks out there who, over the past 3 weeks, have been sending me pictures of their tongues tearing, okay? So it's not just me, it's not just a fluke, and I'm not calling it a trend, but I am gonna say it's not a coincidence either, okay? So again, these are photos on your screen that fans have sent me, and the tongue is tearing, okay? So Nike, to fix this, all it would take is one pass of a sewing machine back and forth to reinforce this tongue. With just one stitch back and forth, and it's fixed. So I'm not saying the whole upper is horrible. In fact, it's not bad, but this is a pretty major flaw, and I'll talk more about how this impacted the overall score of the comfort here in a second. Now, React midsole, okay, moving from the upper to the midsole, I gotta say, it's a little heavy. React midsole material is always a little heavier, but it felt really nice out there, okay? So a decent score, 7.5, I believe, is what I gave it for the score of that React ride. And, Nike's promoting the shoe as a shoe that will help you prevent from getting injured, okay? And I don't know. I'm not saying I'm a big believer, if I believe that completely, but it felt out there when I was changing my foot strike, like trying to pound the pavement a little bit, it felt like the React midsole was absorbing the pounding quite nice, okay? So just saying, like, I actually enjoyed the ride of the React quite a bit, and they did change some of the layering inside the shoe where you're basically, between the insole and the midsole, there's not as much material, so you feel a little more responsive and a little more the midsole feels a little more responsive underfoot. And I don't know if I believe it completely, but it felt pretty good out there overall, considering it took me a little bit of a mental leap to get past, once again, the tongue. All right, moving on to that outsole, strategically placed rubber. Actually, I think it's the exact same. I think it's the exact same outsole. Yeah, it's the exact same outsole pattern to the original iteration. I'm not sure if they increased. It doesn't look like it. I believe it's the exact same outsole pattern. So nothing crazy. It's just fine. I don't know if it'd do really well on slick pavement that's wet. It looks like it'd be a little slick to me, but again, here in Colorado, we don't get a lot of rain. So, but if you do live somewhere that gets a lot of rain, you might want to keep that in mind. Moving on to the fit, true to size. All right, this is actually where I wanted to bring the tongue back in. Because the tongue was tearing, it did not allow me to lace up the shoe as snugly as I wanted. Like, I don't really, a tongue is, it's important okay, why is the tongue important? Why do I keep talking about it? Because when you're lacing up, you don't want the shoelaces to be cutting into your ankle. Remember the Vomero 14, or was that the 13? I think it was the Vomero 14. I was having some issues, and some other people as well, where it just felt like the shoelaces were cutting in. Anyway, so the tongue is actually pretty important so that you can lace up correctly. So because of that, the overall fit of the Infinity Run 2 is that it was fine as far as the width of the toe box, the midfoot, but I did have a little bit of heel slipping because I was unable to really dial in that lacing, all right? So just, again, keep it in mind as you are testing out the shoe in a running shoe store. And sadly, I have to report, again, a guy in high school sent me a message and he said he was trying the shoe on in a running shoe store, and again, the tongue literally tore right there on the right. So it's not happening after 100 miles, 200 miles, 500. It's happening right out of the shoebox, all right? So there we go. Comfort. Here we go. 8 out of 10. Solid comfort score. I like the Flyknit. It's I'd say they made some really nice improvements again from last year to this year. So comfortable upper. I like the padding they added through the back of the shoe. And again, back to that ride, it was a little heavy for my liking, but overall, it felt like it was absorbing the pounding nicely out there. All right, so how will I use this shoe moving forward? Who is it best for? I'm gonna say, first of all, if you're looking for a shoe that does, if you know that you are, let's say, a bigger, stronger runner, bigger than I am, and you know that you put a lot of pounding on the pavement, I'm gonna say the shoe is for you. Or if your gait cycle has a lot of vertical oscillation. Remember, we talked about that a couple days ago when we were breaking down my running form. So if you know you go up a lot and then come down on the ground hard and then up a lot, this could also work for you. I do think that React foam is going to help absorb some of the pounding, you know, if you're training mostly on pavement or concrete. Now, I will not be taking this shoe to 50 miles. First of all, I don't know if in fact, it's tempting to just tear it a little more just to see if it would come all the way off. But I'm not obviously going to risk cut these shoelaces cutting into the top of my foot as this tongue just slowly tears off the more miles I put into it. Now, what's really driving me crazy about the Nike React Infinity Run Flyknit 2 is the price point, for 2 reasons. First of all, no running shoe company should be putting a shoe on the marketplace that has a defect like this. Now, I realize sometimes it can happen, you know, there's recalls, you know, and who knows, maybe we'll do a Nike, maybe we need a Nike running shoe recall, okay? You know, there's recalls with, you know, automobiles, when there are recalls with sometimes with, like, I don't know, baby stuff. Like, this is, I don't know, I just think this is a major issue in my opinion. And so you can't charge $160 and put out a shoe with this type of build quality, all right? That's point number 1. Point number 2, I never, ever will encourage you to buy a daily trainer or an easy day shoe for $100. And this is not acceptable. It's not acceptable to charge $160 for a daily trainer or it's not acceptable, everybody. So I always say in the studio, 115 to 129 is the window that I recommend all of you look for a daily trainer or easy day shoe. $160, you can buy race day shoes for $160. You can go buy the Saucony Endorphin Speed for $160, and that shoe can do a million things better than this shoe. I'm getting a little hot to trot out here. I'm gonna leave it there, everybody. Oh my goodness, I just don't know what to tell you. Well, I do know what to tell you. Here are 4 other shoes that I would buy way, 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 way ahead of this guy. All right, so here's the 4 shoes on your screen. All 4 of these shoes are what I put into the category of gentle stability. Okay, just a hint of stability sprinkled in to the design of the shoe. If you need a little stability, if you desire a little bit of stability through your foot strike. And yes, all of them are under $129. So, oh my goodness, everybody, here you go. The final quick specs for the Nike React Infinity Run Flyknit 2 on your screen. Soak it in. Oh man. And that final early score, and yes, it's not going to get a final score because I'm not taking it to 50 miles. 6.3 out of 10. That's a failing score in the studio. I do hate to say it. And listen, again, this is reality. This is just reality, everybody. Again, few pictures on your screen. It's not just happening to me. So onward and upward, keep buttering the bread. We will toss it to, just to prove it to everybody that I love great Nike running shoes. Here's the Nike running shoe playlist. I'm not a Nike hater. I love Nike when they put out good running shoes or racing shoes, like what I wore in Naples, Florida for the half marathon. So there's the Nike running shoe playlist right there, right there, right there. Keep buttering it, keep buttering it. Oh man, seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.